What's up, bodybuilding fans? Welcome to Texas Bodybuilding News. I'm your host, Jason Martinez. If you guys new here, make sure you guys subscribe, give us a like, follow us on Texas Bodybuilding News on Instagram and our YouTube podcast channel. Today is on 101 with Jason. We got Arniee Rivera, but your real name is Mary, right? Mary?
Yes.
Okay. Fairly new IFBB Pro women's bodybuilder.
Bodybuilding.
Okay. That was a thing. We were just talking about early before all this, and you say you've been in the industry about 40-something years. So let's take it back. Let's take it way back. Like, how did it start? How did you get into it? I know you said about 13 you started kind of working out. You know, how did that come to part? Like, how did that start?
So when I first started, I remember we were in California, and my dad used to take us up north to work the fields, right? Kind of show us what life would be for us if you didn't get an education and if you got an education. So we used to travel up to California in the summers to go visit my mom's family. So we would go do the fields for a couple of months. And I remember one day he took us into Kmart, when Kmart was back in the day. And he's like, pick anything you want. And so I picked out a workout bench. And I have two other sisters, and they kind of looked at me like, God, of all things, you know, that you could pick, why would you pick that? And so the journey started from there. I took it home, and I've got 4 brothers, and they were always doing something, you know, working out and stuff. And so once I started lifting the weights with my youngest brother, it was a nonstop from there. You know, it was like I fell in love with it. It was crazy weird.
But how if that young age, like, there wasn't social media, there was, I don't know if the magazines, if you saw some magazines, but
there was
knowing about lifting and bodybuilding, it was not known back then that properly.
Correct.
You know. So how did you decide I want to bench? How did that come?
Well, my dad was super active, sporty active, right? So he was either always doing golfing, football with the boys, lifting. My dad had his weights around at the time. And so I was always with my brothers. So I was never really a girly girl, right, per se. Well, everybody knows that, right? But when my brothers were working out, I would always be hanging out with them. So my oldest brother would always say, you have to be strong. You know, you're a girl, and we're not always going to be around to protect you. So you have to start getting stronger. And that's how it started for me. Okay. So when they would go work out.
You and your younger brother.
Yeah, me and my youngest.
And started working
brother.
out. You know,
yeah.
What caught my eye was that, you know, you were a vegetarian. Like, how did that come apart too? Was that something health-wise, or just something you just started doing on your own? Because
so that's really weird. So growing up, I'm allergic to pork. So the easiest route for my mother to take, I guess, was to just keep me on all fruits and veggies and never run the risk of, am I going to feed her pork or not feed her pork? So pork was definitely not permitted in the house while we were growing up. And I just never took on to the meat, you know, and the chicken. And my father was a commercial fisherman. And even though we always had the fish in the house, right? I just never gravitated to it when I was young. So I just stayed like that. And then the more we worked out, the more energy the fruits and vegetables gave me, believe it or not. It was totally plant-based. And I just stuck with that until a couple of years back. I want to say like maybe 10 years ago, I started introducing the red meat. Everybody was telling me, well, if you want to grow, you know, you can't stay petite forever. Not in this industry anyways. If you want to grow a little, you got to get that red meat. And I was like, oh. So I started it from there. You know, 10 years ago, I started eating the fish,
so
the red meat.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
Okay.
Yeah. So I stayed like that, super active. I just felt that the fruits and the veggies gave me more energy, you know, believe it or not. And it makes sense, right? Because red meat weighs me down anyways. You know,
so you didn't have like even eggs?
I would have the eggs. I wasn't like, what do you call them? What do you call those people that don't eat?
Well, vegans don't eat no type of meat.
Yeah, so I wasn't vegan. I just kind of just stuck more to the veggies and fruits. I still did the dairy base, right? Which was, as far as I went with that, was the eggs, really.
And then you served in the military. Well,
I did.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
How did you get into the service? What branch?
So the Army. So it was something that I wanted to do for a long time. Right, coming out of high school, it just didn't happen for me the way I had it planned, and so I instead went into nursing, did OR scrubbing. And so I did that right out of high school. And then when the wars broke out in Iraq, I decided to join. So I went in later, in my years, and went to all these crazy wars, the Iraq War, Afghanistan.
Oh, so you did some tours over there.
Oh, yeah. I've done 4 tours. I did
tours. Oh, my God. Wow.
And then I fell in love with that, and I stayed there for a long time, came out 16 years later, so...
And when what was your rank? When you
I was an E7 when I came out.
And being a female at that time was, I think it was tough, wasn't it?
Also,
so how was that? Did your family accept it right away? Was there maybe your dad? Because my dad sounds like he's old
my dad's
school.
old school.
How was that transition for you going into the military?
Yeah, well, it was hard. My mom's been with me by my side the whole time. Everywhere I've traveled, she's always been there with me. She comes and goes. If I was stationed in Fort Hood, so I would send her over there. I would drive down and take her with me. She would stay on the base. My dad was not very happy that I was going, but it was my choice, my decision. And so, by that point I was already in my 20s, so I was just like, okay, I'm going to go, so I joined, and then I guess later he got used to it and kind of fell in love with the idea that I was out of here,
Mm-hmm.
You want to do something or get something, they always say you got to get out of the valley first to try things out. So yeah, I did that.
And what's it called? What do you say? MO?
The MOS?
Yeah, what was that?
So I was in there as a driver for the military. I kind of got a couple of things got scrubbed out. I did a lot of things in the service. I'm not going to go into full detail of what I was doing, but when I was stateside, I was in the gym, so I was training. So that was my main job, was to help people lose weight and stay in shape, so that they wouldn't get kicked out of the military. When we were abroad, then, well, that's a different story, You get trained to do different things, and some things we agree with and some things we don't.
Yeah, I mean, so throughout all that, you kept the training. You kept, lifting, and you kept training. And you said that you were training, people when you were in the States and stuff like that,
Yes. So if we were here stateside, my main job was to report to the gym and train the soldiers that were overweight. So I had that program with me. Yeah, it was quite interesting.
And so when did you do you say retire, or when did you get out?
I was officially off paper in 2016.
Oh, so just recently too.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
2016 or 2012? 2016. Because even when you get out, you still owe them 4 years.
Yeah. So
that's on the contract. You don't even know.
Yeah.
Right.
You're
go
still
in
on call.
You're still on call.
Yeah. So you served how many years total then?
16.
16 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
16. It's been a long time.
Yeah. And then after that, serving in the military 16 years, you went straight to the rigs. You started working in the rigs, and
yes. So that was really ironic how all that turned out, because when we were over there in Iraq or wherever we were deployed to, right? We were literally working for them. Like, it was so weird, right? Like, who would have ever thought? So they had you digging the oil line and dropping the pipe, and just connecting. It was an endless connecting of lines for them over there. I guess we get our oil from over there. I'm not too sure.
Well, a lot of it was also because all they destroyed. So we were supposed to go and help,
Yeah.
But I think it was something else going on.
Yeah. So they had us there kind of, well, you're always working on whatever. You belong to the government. So whatever they tell you to do, pick up the shovel, you got to pick it up, no matter what your rank is, So, yeah, I learned all of that there. And then coming out, I have a brother that really, two of my older brothers that worked in the rigs. So one of them, he became a welder, so he was welding in the rigs, and then he kind of took one of my other brothers in, so they both started doing work in the oil field. And then when I came around, Well, I was probably stronger than both of them put together, you know? So I went in and I started going with them. And then I ended up there for a couple of years. I went all the way to Midland. I was working out of Oil Field Estates was the company. And I was supervising for them out there. So, but still, I had to hit that hammer, man.
Yeah.
That 20-pound mallet had to be going all day.
And you still had time to work out?
Well, you know.
Because that's a beating right there.
Yes, that was like anywhere from 12 to 14, 16-hour days. But, man, I love it so much that right after work, I would go to the gym. So it didn't matter. You know, to me, it didn't matter if it was 1 a.m. and I had to be up at 4. I was still going to hit the gym before I went and put my head down for an hour or two. After serving in the service, you know, in the military, they kind of train you to stay awake for 72 hours. You don't have a choice on that one either. Yeah. So I was already very molded to all of that. And still, when I met Terry, she kind of freaked out. She's like, you're not normal. Like, who gets up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym at 4? I said, well, I don't know. What else are you going to do? Like, when you're awake already, when I'm awake, I'm up. So that's how that goes for me. And I love it. It's my passion. I've done it for 43 years already. So, yeah, I don't think anybody can take me out of the gym.
When did you decide to compete? When was the first time you actually hit a stage?
Man, I was trying to figure that out. I didn't annotate it anywhere, but I remember doing the Iron House Classic here a couple of times, taking first place every time I got on stage, thank God. And then I also remember doing the Adela Classic because I have the trophies and the medals for that one too. Actually, my oldest brother kept those because he's a fanatic of me being on stage also.
But that's something. What was the decision to hit the stage? What was? Did you go to a show? How did you hear about a show?
No, actually, David Swander was the one who, David and Trish Swanders from Harlingen. David was the one, man, you know what? Like, you're already there. Like, you should, you know, think about getting on stage. And I had another friend that was from McAllen. He was from Harlingen at the time, but now he lives in McAllen. And it's been so long, I can't even remember his name. He was the one, him and his wife would always tell me, dude, like, go get on stage, you know? And I mean, I didn't know anything about it until I started looking into it. And yeah, I mean, once I hit that stage, my foot hit that stage, it was over for me.
What division did you compete in the first time?
In bodybuilding, women's bodybuilding. And back then, Jason, women's bodybuilding was...
That's what I was going to say, because that's what I was trying... Because, you know, I know you wanted him recently, but that's what I was... Back then, women's bodybuilding was women's bodybuilding. It was a popular division. It was you know, and then it died out. Yep. You know, that's why I was trying to see, like, when was your first time you competed? Because that was years ago.
Yeah, that was years ago. And then I kind of did a couple of shows here and there, even though I would win the national qualifiers, right? Like, no one pushed me to keep going and going. Like, I didn't know enough of the field to say, okay, after you get a national qualifier, you could literally go for your pro card, you know? It wasn't until a couple of years ago that I really started getting more interested in all of that. And just this year in June was when I said, you know what, we're doing this.
And those prior shows that you did, did you prep yourself? Like you kind of did everything?
Yes. So I've always prepped my own self. Like, I've always been my own trainer, done as much as I could. And I never really had someone pushing me or telling me or guiding me up until I met David. When I met David, then he really took me under his wing, and he geared me towards. And
he coached you for some of the prior shows?
He coached me for one.
Okay.
He coached me for one show, and I can't even remember how far back that was, but I'll never forget.
And then you just kind of learned, and then just kind of just did everything on your own.
Took it on my own.
Yeah, because training and doing a show is different, right? You know? The nutrition and all that stuff, you know. So, you know, it's not as easy as people think it is. So when you're working out, and you've been working out forever,
for a long time.
So, but to transition to that, how was that transition to trying to get onto stage? You know, that had to be something different, because were you still a vegetarian at the time?
No.
So you've already included,
not for these last ones, So when I met David, I used to always, in my head, I was like, I gotta do my cardio, right? So I would run 10 miles and then I would work out. Like, that was my pre-cardio. until I met him, that he was the one who said, like,
Slow down.
you're only eating your own muscle.
Yeah.
Like, you're never going to grow
Yeah.
because you're too much cardio. And so it was through him that I learned, okay, well, maybe I don't have to run 10 miles. But being in the service for so long, they wake you up at 3 a.m. to run 10 miles.
Yeah.
That was our norm, you know? So it was through him, through his guidance, that he's like, no, if you want to do something, like if you really want to get on that big stage, you're going to have to cut this cardio. And so it took me a while. And then, well, you know, I've got injured knees, a broken hip, and, you know, it kind of like, okay, I can't run anymore. So now I do my cardio on a bicycle, but also David's guidance, which was the best thing ever for me. So
David's
training,
old school.
David's old school, man. He'll put that hammer down
Yeah.
on you, and but you know what? He's incredible. Like, my hat off to that man, and I'll always be appreciative to him. So even through these last competitions that I did, every time I got stuck, I would just send him a text or call him, and he's always been there for me. You know, he's always guided me, and he's always steered me in the right direction. So, but I didn't have anyone training me.
And after that, you took a little break and you went into, you know, you own 4 businesses, right? So how did that transition go? Because you just competed for a little bit and then you kind of just stopped. Do you remember how many years you were competing at the time?
Probably like on and off, like I want to say like 10 years, you know, on the go. Just I would tap in, do one show here, and then let it go, and then come back, do another show, and let it go.
And it was always bodybuilding.
It was up until this last run that I went into the women's physique and women's bodybuilding. So I was doing both all the way up until I got the pro card.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll do both coming back on the pro stage, but I gotta like stay really focused, you know, trying to grow a little. It's super hard. You know that.
No, it is. And, you know, and tell everybody your age. What, you know?
So I turned 56 when we made it to Orlando. So right before I got the pro card, I was
56.
at 56 when I got the pro card.
So it's never too late.
Yeah, it's never too late. Age is just a number, guys.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, so explain those businesses that you own. Like, you know, what got you into those? What does it consist of?
Okay, so when I met Terry, and she's the original owner of all of this, right? So she already had the Total Body Healing, Total Body Healers. She had a Total Body Fitness back in a couple of years ago also. So she's always done the holistic approach, right, of helping people with pain, inflammation, limited mobility. So we work a lot of, so I came in with her, right? She took me under her wing. She taught me the ropes, everything that she knows. She has a holistic school. So you actually get certified with her if you do the school with her. We're based out of McAllen. So it's incredible because, well, I love helping people, whether it be in the fitness journey, you know, just staying healthy. Once I was in the oil rigs when she pulled me out of the oil field to come do this. And well, people, I love people. I love working with people. I love helping people. And she already had everything set up. All I had to do was just learn, you know. And, you know, there's a lot of people out there that call themselves healers, you know, holistic healers now. But until you do the school and until you get that certification, you're not truly knowledgeable in how to approach and helping someone. So we help out a lot of people, post-strokes, fibromyalgia, a lot of people with Bell's palsy, the facial paralysis. There's no one that fixes that. And we've gotten a lot of people up out of wheelchairs and walking again, and it's, you know, through God, of course, you know, but the compassion and the love, you got to have that, or else your hands just ain't gonna work. So we do a lot of that. We do a lot of athletic rehabbing, a lot. I know I get on one of our tables, and Rita Reyes is one of our holistic therapists there. And on a weekly, I'm on her table because in order to have these muscles grow, you gotta work them because you need that oxygen flowing through those blood cells again. So We just do a lot of things there, and I'm super grateful to Terry. You know, we got married 4 years ago, about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and it's been my whole.
And
thing.
how long was she in business? You know, with that.
Oh, Terry has been in business for like almost 25 years, I think.
Okay,
She's
with the total body.
Yeah,
wellness.
with the total body.
Explain a little bit the holistic.
Holistic approach.
Yeah, explain that, because I think there's different views of it. You know, so kind of explain.
So people get really confused when you say holistic. So holistic is just that. It's an overall, right? It means an overall natural approach. We have a lot of products to help people lose the weight, and it helps with. We have a total body burn that helps with not just the weight loss, but what's so amazing about the product itself is that it helps if you're diabetic, if you have high blood pressure, if you have cholesterol. It helps with myomuscular tensions. It helps with joint pain, bone pain, muscle pain. The products are just amazing. I use the products, so trust me, we all do. There's nothing that's a water base that's going to turn into crystallized plastics and it's going to ruin you or whatever. It's all supernatural, and there is no product that we have under our roof that we don't take ourselves. So we can actually back it up and say, it's natural, it works, we do it, it's not going to harm you.
And that's what I was noticing. You are backed by a physician, right?
Yeah, it's American board.
American board. So the products
drugless.
The products you get, are
yes.
certified board. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. There's everything that we have is natural. So because I'm in the bodybuilding industry, I'll tell you just a quick snippet. I started doing the product, and man, by the time I got on stage, I was already at a 5% body fat, So it really does burn that extra belly fat that we're looking for. It's the products are amazing. We have another one that goes in junction with that one. We call it the lipo in a bottle. That also, they have vitamin B12, B6, vitamin C. They're lipotropics. They're amazing. It helps if you crave something so much. It takes that craving away. They help. They're amazing.
And do you also train people there too?
We do. So we have the Total Body Fitness inside the facility. So we're located at 500 East Beaumont Avenue in McAllen, Texas. And we have a 19-room facility. So in that facility, we have a private gym. So we do private settings, or small groups, 5-6 people train together, or a one-on-one training. Okay. So it's amazing. You have to come out and check us out and try it too.
Yeah, and you still have all those, or is you already just combined it into one, or they're all different?
They're all under one roof. Okay. So if you come in for pain, we can get you in the gym, or we can get you for the beauty. There's a lot of beauty things that we do. So we do needleless fillers, we do contouring of bodies, we do radio frequency, woodwork, cavitation. It's an endless.
So you have a variety of things in there. Yeah. So you have employees that do a lot of this stuff too.
Yes. Okay. Everybody's certified in all of the modalities that we use. So no one can ever come into the building and say, you're not supposed to be doing this. And
then what made you decide? Okay, because you said you had about an 8-year break since the last time you hit stage. So what made you decide, okay, let me come back?
So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So ever since I met and got together with the Total Body Healers group, I would always say, one day I'm gonna go get on the stage one day, so you guys can know what we go through, right? Because no one had ever seen me on the stage. They just knew that I was on the stage. And so this past year in June, I told Terry and the girls that I was going to get on stage, that come September I would compete. So the journey started from there. I started training myself from June to September, prepped, got on that stage, and then we took it to San Antonio, and then we took it to Orlando.
But your first one was the Iron Classic.
Yes.
Iron House Classic.
Yes.
So coming back after 8 years, you prepped yourself.
Yep.
How was that? Because then
Very difficult.
Yeah, because you're older. It was harder for
Yes.
the diet. It was the training,
Yeah.
like you said. You have injuries,
Yes.
So how was that prep?
Well, we started, and so I can actually say that I didn't do this all by myself, So I had Terry supports me in anything and everything that I do. I had Cynthia Tovar, she's our manager there. She helped with my final prepping of the hair and the makeup. We have Jackie Silva who came in. Cynthia did the makeup and Jackie did the hair. And then I had Rita doing my therapies. And I had Savannah, Terry's daughter, was prepping my meals. So in the middle of seeing my own clients, because I put hands on clients, right? Seeing my own clients and training myself and training the clients, I was still able to do it, but not literally by myself. It was because I had all this help and the support around me. So right when I was getting ready to train, as I was getting closer to getting on the stage, we hired Kendria Robinson as the trainer for the facility. So she stepped in with all my gym clients, so I didn't have to worry about that anymore. And then as it got closer to the date, I just stopped seeing people, period. And I really just isolated myself, and it was just Terry and I in the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning. I would work out from 4 to like 6:30, more or less, 7 o'clock. And I did that up until we got onto the stage, like 3 days.
And
prior.
how was your body responding? Did it
Jason, it was
respond quick, or
amazing.
it was like no?
No. So it's so funny. So we started the prep, and we went to go do a BMI, right? Because I wanted to know where my body fat was. I've never really been obese or really been out of shape, but I still had that fat in my core, So we did my first BMI, and I came back, I think I was at 27%. And then I said, okay, I know what I need to do. So I cut everything out, and I just did tuna, right? I did tuna for 2 weeks.
So you went like in a keto?
Yeah. But that's all I would eat.
Just tuna?
That was it. Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
No veggies, no nothing, just tuna.
No, nothing, just tuna. So, and the in between, with the tuna fish and my shots, the total body burn and the lipo shots, it took me from a 27% body fat to a 12 in 2 weeks. It was crazy. It was really amazing. And I'm glad that the girls knew exactly what I was doing, right? Because, they were all a part of it with me. And then after that, I just... Yeah, I kept all my BMIs because now I tell them, hey, if I can do it at my age, so can you, So anyways, I did that, and then the week after that, like the following week, I kind of started introducing a little bit of the veggies and a little bit of the carbs because I dried out too fast, right? So I wasn't as big as I wanted to be, but then again, I kind of did it all, like squeezed it all in 6 weeks at the end. So... by the time I got here onto this platform, I was a 7% body fat. So,
but those 2 weeks, how did you feel?
I felt, it's weird because I wasn't tired. I wasn't exhausted. What really helped me, and I can't stop saying it, was the product, was the Total Body Burn, and that lipo product gives you that energy boost because it has the vitamins in it.
Is that the one that had the B12?
Yes.
Okay, that's
they both do,
Okay, so they helped with the energy.
Yeah. So it has, it's got the fat burners in there too. It has the L-ornithine, L-carnitine, L-arginine.
Everything.
Yeah. So you already know,
Okay, so that's like in one syringe, one shot. It has everything included.
Everything's included.
And is it side injected or is it just a one time boom?
No, you do it. So you can do it once a week or twice a week. Like every 72 hours, you can inject. You can put the product, and you can either do it intramuscular or sub-Q.
But does it help if it's side injected? Like I'm gonna work here, or it doesn't matter because it just
actually we have the lipo in a bottle is for targeted areas. So there's a lot of women, right, and men. Don't think that the men not. We have a mixture of both males and females that come in and do the product. We don't inject anyone on site, so you take it with you and you do it at your own privacy. But if you want to target like the lower belly, we do the lipo injections.
But something like that type of product, you can't have somebody that's coming in 30+%, right?
Sure.
Is it going to make a big difference?
Sure. I think that it even makes a bigger difference for the people that are a little bit bigger than the people that are not. Because when you're bigger, you already know, right? When you're bigger, you lose the weight faster. Because once you get to our level, it's kind of hard at the very end, that last, 2 inches or a couple of pounds, you really got to pound that cardio in. So, it helps. It's crazy.
What's the most drastic transformation y'all seen with somebody?
So we have a lady that comes to the facility and she's still on the product. And I think she's been there with us going on 2 months, I want to say. So she had severe cirrhosis of the liver, right? This is a prime example. And overweight, of course. So she's dropped like 18 inches and I couldn't tell you how many pounds, like 20 something pounds. But she no longer has cirrhosis of the liver. So she was stage 4. Her doctor had already told her, this is it. Like, there's nothing that we can do for you at this point. Well, she started the product, and then 3 weeks later, she had another doctor's appointment. So within those 3 weeks, I don't know when it happened for her, but within that time frame, she no longer had cirrhosis of the liver. So she brought us back her report. She gave us the testimonial, and her doctor told her, whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Did she change her eating also? Did she start exercising more also? She's an
older lady, so she didn't change her eating habits. They don't really do the workout,
So it was just in those injections that she was taking. Which ones are those?
Yeah, and because it curbs your appetite. So you're not overeating, and it cuts the craving for the bad foods, for the sugar.
Well, so that's what I'm saying, because there had to be something, that also helped with that.
I say it's the sugar blocker and the thing, right? Or carb blocker, whichever one, or a combination of both. Because, like I said, they don't work out and they don't go to a gym. They don't walk because they just choose not to. It's it's the older generation, but she loves it though, and she loves her new self now. And so now she started walking. The husband's a security guard somewhere, and he's also on the product. And he was big guy, and he's not as big as he was when he first started. So they're loving the journey, and we guide them. You give them a meal guidance, kind of tell them, well, kind of stay away from this and venture more.
But I think a lot of it, like you're saying, it does curb the appetite and the sugar cravings. That just that alone, it's going to make a difference in the body, because if they're used to that.
Yes.
That's going to help.
And that's hard, to get, just simply to get someone to not drink a soda. Is very hard.
Well, it's an addiction.
Yes, like any other
sugar.
addiction.
It's an addiction. It's like they have to have that feeling. And then you try to take it away, the withdrawal is crazy.
Yeah.
But once they take it away and you don't have it, your
over.
body will change a lot. That's what I tell my clients. It's just those little habits that you have. Just break one of the, slowly take away that. Take away
one at a time.
That makes a difference. People don't realize it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take it back. So then you did the Iron House Classic. First time getting back on stage after a good break.
Yes.
How was that experience? How was that being on stage again, at 55?
Right?
I
was 55, yeah. So that was amazing. So that right there made me determine, okay, we're going to keep going. So after that show, I came back and told them, okay, we're going to get our pro card by the end of this year. Like, that's my mission. That's my goal. And so we came back and we found the show in San Antonio. That was
Bernadette's show, the Texas Pro
show.
Yes, in San Antonio.
And it had also for the Warriors. So I said, yes, that's my show. I'm going to go do it. And then after I said, okay, I'm going to do it, I was kind of nervous, right? Because I was like, oh my God, like all these retired military people are going to be like huge, right? But I mean, it's the same. We're the same people all over the place. So we went ahead and we prepped for that one. Did another second prep. I was already there, so it was just like I wanted to.
It was what, Iron House September, and this one was in November.
In November, not even. Months? I think it was like a 6 weeks in between. I wanted to grow a little, but I couldn't really carb up that much. You know how that goes. Yeah. So I kind of left myself where I was at, and we ended up going over there. So that was a great outcome too.
And you said they had heroes. When you wrote that, I was like, what was that? Like you had to be military or ex-military?
Yes.
Okay.
Or fire department, EMS, all of that ranking there.
And you did women's bodybuilding.
And women's
you did physique. And then Heroes was its own division?
Yes.
Okay.
But I went in also for the women's physique and women's bodybuilding. Yeah. So on that one, we took the Texas State the Miss Texas State for both. I took it
Yes.
for the women's bodybuilding
And
and for the heroes.
Okay. And bodybuilding, remember we were just talking earlier, is not as popular now, so there's not that many people competing in bodybuilding.
But you know what, Jason? It's back.
I know it's coming back because you know why? Is because they brought it back in Olympia now this past year. The one that owns the Wings of Strength.
Oh yes.
He started promoting a lot more shows of bodybuilding, so they brought it back. Because remember, they took it away from the Olympia, they took it away from the Arnold, they took it away like a lot of these pro shows. They start, and then there wasn't more. Even when you went to regular shows, one or two, so it kind of died out. But then they brought it back. So yes, it's coming back. You know,
thank God.
Yeah.
So, but now I really got to prep.
Yeah, because and that one. I mean, even though it was a big show in Texas, there wasn't that much bodybuilding women, right?
There was actually. They had a good like maybe 16, 17 women up there.
At the physique or bodybuilding?
For the bodybuilding.
At the
physique, there's a lot.
No, the physique.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And
for the women's bodybuilding.
The difference is the posing. You know, which posing do you like better, bodybuilding or physique?
They're pretty similar, but I think I'm a little more comfortable with the women's bodybuilding, with the posing for that one. But I really fell in love with the physique too. It's just going to be a determination of growth, right? Because I'm tiny.
Yeah,
not that big.
And here at the Texas Pro, they didn't have weight classes, right?
Yes.
Or
yeah,
they did. So
they do,
what's your weight class in bodybuilding that you?
I went in at 122, so I think that's the middleweight.
Middleweight.
Middleweight. Yeah, I've always stepped on stage at about 122.
Okay, and so you won the Miss Texas Bodybuilding female, right? For bodybuilding.
Yes.
And then the heroes, and then you decided, okay, let's take it one more.
Yeah.
And then you went to.
We went to Orlando
for the nationals.
We were So.
Did you talk to any of the judges? Did you get feedback? Did you talk to David, or is it just something you decided on your own to do? You know.
Yeah. Huh? It was actually we came back from San Antonio. And Terry was on her phone, and she found the show in Orlando, which is the last show for the year. I didn't even know that, but she found it, right? And she was like, "Hey, you're already there. What do you think? You know, I think you should just go for it. I mean, what do we got to lose? You're already prepped." And that one was 20 days away.
Yeah, because it was like maybe like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, that was
it was in December, right?
Yeah.
It was early December
5th.
Yeah.
And so there we were. So we did it again, and then I came back with
let's talk about that. Let's talk about the journey, because you did the Iron House, which is a local show, and then you went to a bigger show, which is the San Antonio one, and now you're going to nationals, which you saw that it's a different world out there, right?
I was a little puppy with the big dogs over there.
So explain to us when you got there, when you checked in, give us
the experience was phenomenal. I was like, wow. We're really here, We walked around the whole place. When I checked in, I was like, oh my God, like I couldn't even really believe that I was actually there. Like everyone's always asked me, the girls especially, right, from work, from the office, are you nervous? It's like, I never got nervous. I never like I'm good. Like I'm so centered and so focused. Like I don't have time to be nervous. Like it's here. It's do or die. There's no going back at that point, right? But the feeling of seeing all those phenomenal bodies out there was like, wow. Like I couldn't believe it. Like such beautiful physiques out there, like everybody that was there. I've always said, if you put your foot on the stage, you're already a winner. It's a 1%er that really makes it up to the stage and says, okay, I'm here. But the feeling, I couldn't even describe it. And even after we won and I brought home the pro card, I don't think it, even till this day, it has even sunken in. It's like, Like, I think I'm still on cloud 9, believe it or not. It's like, wow.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because explain that. Like I said, Iron House was at this little stage.
Yes.
And then you went to San Antonio Bigger, and then you go to
big.
National, which,
yeah, that
which
was
like,
big.
you know, being backstage, you saw some, you know, big
yeah.
women, right? You know,
Oh, my God.
some built
yes.
women, and you're backstage, you know,
Yes.
looking, you know, but what went through your mind, like, being backstage with that, you know?
That I was so tiny compared to all them women. And then they would come stand next to me, and I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah, because here now they had all classes, right? They had the super or heavyweight.
Yes.
Then they had light heavyweight, and you
Yep.
still fell in the middleweight, or what
I
division?
was still
Middleweight.
at 122.
The
Yeah.
middleweight.
I was still the
And then they have
middleweight.
lightweight. So they have like what, 4 classes?
They have
right?
4, yeah. Yeah, they have
Okay.
4 classes. Yes, it was crazy. I mean,
So then getting on stage lights, your nationals, it's different judging, different
yes,
everything, you know.
different. Everything was different.
And how did everything go? Everything went smooth, like, you know, no hiccups,
Yes.
I
No.
forgot this suit, or I forgot
No.
my this, or,
No.
you know, my food, I didn't have my carb up food,
No,
everything
we had
just
it
went
all.
smooth.
Yep, we had
Good.
it all, thank God. And I didn't have it all. The girls had it all for me, because I think if I would have been there solo, like, I would have forgotten, you know, the food, or I would have forgotten something, I'm sure. But we had extra of everything, trust me. I even had my weights, my dumbbells, my mat, like, but it was so crowded, you couldn't even put your mat on the floor.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't even sit down on the floor. There were so many people backstage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the area that they had for us was, you were standing. It was standing room only. Yeah, it was crazy.
And was it a 2-day event, or it was morning and night for you guys?
It was a 1 day. It was a morning and night. Yeah.
Okay, because I know for guys it's 2 days.
That's really that was really weird, because not weird. It was just, I think it was amazing. There was so many competitors
Mm-hmm.
that they did all the women on Friday, and then they ran all the men on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
All divisions.
Yeah, because I know they do, they separate them, but they also, like I said, they do 2 days for the guys. You know, they did, I think, prejudging 1 day, and then second day.
Oh, maybe, I don't know,
finals,
because
yeah.
I didn't
But
go
you guys,
to
you
the
guys
guys,
just
but
one
we,
time.
yeah, we
Okay.
did 1 day.
So morning was prejudging.
Morning was
Okay.
prejudging. and
How did
then-
you feel on morning, like getting on stage, coming out? You know, what
Yeah.
was the feedback that you felt, and then, you know, they were tearing out, your group were telling you what was all that?
Oh my
you know?
God, it was amazing. You know, I think that when you have everything lined up for you, like I did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had all the people helping me. Yeah, the team that I had there with me was like, hey, I couldn't take 2 steps because no, wait, come your hair, or you know, your makeup, or your eyelashes, and it's like, no, you're good. Let me see. Let me look at you. So I didn't have to worry, you know, about, oh my God, you know, are my eyelashes gonna fall off or not? Because them puppies were glued, trust me. Like, I had everybody checking and double checking for me. That was amazing.
So that's a support system is a plus, you know.
Like, I couldn't have done it without the support team. Couldn't have done it. There's no way. I mean, could have, but it would have been harder, you know.
Well, let's, how is it for you in prep and Terry not in prep? Does she diet as when you diet?
Oh
or
my
she,
God, yes. The
So
house
she-
has to diet.
so
The
she
job
diets
has
too.
to diet. Yes, even the girls at work.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. You know, everybody's on their weight loss journey. Everybody's transforming.
So no one's sneaking in tacos. No one's sneaking in donuts.
Only
where-
me. No. Everybody has jumped on the bandwagon.
Awesome.
Since they've seen, right, the 3 shows. They've
Mm-hmm.
been with me for the 3 shows, and literally with me, like, we traveled with the whole office.
So they all went with you. Oh,
Yes.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
we
awesome.
traveled
Okay.
with everyone. Everyone made it over there and back with us. I think that they looked at it like, man, if she can do it, why can't I? You know, I can do it too. So we're all doing the same thing. We're all on a meal prep. We're all on our products. Because, you know, you gotta use products to help, because no matter how clean you try to eat, it's hard. It's hard for the bodies.
And when you came off stage, you know, and then you still have several hours, right, for finals, you know. What do you do? Is there like a routine you do, or do you go take a nap? Do you?
Yes. So
what do you do?
There's never a nap. There's never a nap.
I take naps, man.
Under my roof.
Judging in finals, I take a nap.
No.
I'm so tired.
We were practicing the routine. So remember, Jason, I had 2 routines. So that was more
Oh,
nerve
exactly. You did-
wracking.
Okay,
I did
so
women's
so
physique.
which one was first, physique or what body?
Physique.
So when physique, then you came out and you're backstage.
Well, I never got off stage. So it was just a turning me around. I was just going and going. So I do I come on stage and perform for physique, and then the rest of the women come on, and then I come back on.
And then bodybuilding went back on right away.
Yes, and then bodybuilding came back on, or vice versa. I can't remember.
So you didn't even get to like eat a little bit more. You know what I'm getting? It was just like
it was lineup after lineup. Okay. Yeah. So once we made it for the break, actually we stayed. We stayed in house, and we watched the other women get on stage. We didn't leave right away. We stayed like, I don't know, maybe 2-3 hours, and then we headed out. I said, okay, I'm tired now. I gotta go. Yeah. So, and my choreographer is Martha from Harlingen. What's her last name? Kaiser. I want to say Kaiser. Martha Kaiser.
She's both routines?
Yeah, she's always been my choreographer. Okay. Yeah, for every competition, I've always reached out to her. So she puts my music together and cuts it for me, and then she goes over a routine with me, and we kind of play around with it. Terry doesn't like something, because it's got to change, so we change the things and we tweak them at the last minute, which is really difficult, right?
Yeah.
Because I keep telling them, you can't change things on me at the last minute, because it's already like
it's already engraved in here.
Yeah. And I have it down to the second. Yeah. Like you only have so many seconds to get up there. So Iron House was 60 seconds, kind of, because they kind of push you off and try to get everybody through. San Antonio was the 60-second for sure. That was smooth. But the one over there in Orlando was, once you got on the platform, they said you have 45 seconds, go.
It went quick.
Yeah. So after me having that count of my routine, I was like, at the last minute, you have to make those changes, You can't, as long as you flow, you I think you're good. But
so then you came back to finals.
Then I came back.
And was it physique first or bodybuilding?
I want to say that it was bodybuilding. Bodybuilding always starts first, I think.
So bodybuilding started, and you did physique. They did the group, individual, and you did your routine with music.
Yes. Both of them have to have a music routine for women's physique and women's bodybuilding.
And then the placings came around, right?
And then the placings.
And how did that go?
It went really fine. It went well. I got my pro card, so.
But you got it in bodybuilding.
In bodybuilding, not in women's physique. Okay. Them women were huge. Jesus Christ.
And it's in women's physique. They're not by weight, right?
And
it's by height.
No, they're by weight. No,
it's by
you're
height.
Right. They're by height. Yes.
So bodybuilding is different. That's why, they put you with you said you're middleweight. Yeah, and physique is just.
It's open. It was open game.
Yeah.
So I was on stage literally at 122, and there was 122, 140s, 150, and 165. Yeah. Yeah, I'm never gonna forget.
Yeah, cause so then you got first on the middleweight. You get your pro card there, and then you came to overall, right? So then they have all four classes.
Yeah.
And how was that? Being with all those.
It was amazing.
First place,
It was amazing. I just loved the whole experience. Like I was so much smaller than them. I mean, there was no way, but it was just the feeling of knowing that I was at 56 years of age on the stage with 20 and 30-year-olds, because I think that the one that took women's physique was 34 or 32, but she was 160 something pounds.
She was a heavyweight.
She was solid mass.
She probably took the overall too.
Yeah. She took it. Yeah. She took it all.
Well, that's what I want to clarify too, is that you didn't do Masters Nationals. You did the regular Nationals, which is just open.
Yeah,
it's not by age. It's just open. So
it's open. Over there they didn't even have Masters.
They have their own Masters Nationals.
Yes.
It's a different time.
Yes,
that one is just open. Yeah, it's open.
This was open game, like hunting for deer.
So you got your IFBB Pro in bodybuilding. So how was that coming off stage?
And that was incredible. I was holding that card and I still couldn't believe it. It was a very, very good feeling. And we did it within my time frame. I had said by the end of this year of 2022, we're coming home with the pro card.
Is this something that because when you took the 8 years off prior, was it a goal eventually? So it was always in the back of your mind, like, I need to come back. I need to come back. It
was. It's a love. It's a passion that I have for it. It's like, I don't think that I'll ever not want to compete. I see people on wheelchairs on the stages. I see amputees on stages. There's no reason why we can't or shouldn't do it if you're in the love passion for it, right? Because it's not for everyone.
No, it's not.
Definitely, it's a big monster.
And so what's the future now for your competitive,
So we are prepping for this whole year. So I'm going to see if I can get up to the 130s, the latter part of the 130s to the 140s, and see if I can hold, once I shred down, see if I can hold that weight. But from the last competition, I think I stayed out of the gym for 3 days, and then I jumped right back in, right? Because I can't be without working out. And I've gained a couple of pounds, so I'm holding on to the 131, 132, fluctuating, but still have my core, so that's good. Trying to do it this way to where I don't have to kill at the end, I don't want to experience that.
Well, I think that's a smart way is maintain a good leanness.
Yes.
Don't get too out of hand.
Don't get too out of hand.
And so it makes it easier to get into shape for
a little
show.
slide now, yeah.
That's one thing.
So I hired my coach from Austin, Pedro. He's a trainer out there. He's a pro trainer, and his wife competes the Olympia. So
this now
Pedro Ramirez.
So now you get
because now it's important.
Now you're stepping up the game to get. Let me get a real prep coach.
Jason, every coach needs a coach. Every trainer needs a trainer. If you think you can do it all by yourself, yes, I coasted through these on my own, but this is another level. This is. It's my goal. I think one day I want to get on that Olympian stage.
Because do they have masters open pro shows? Because I know, like for us, we do have masters.
They do.
For
I've seen
bodybuilding,
them,
for women bodybuilding masters. Okay.
Yes.
Is that something you're going to shoot for, or are you going to try to shoot for the open?
No, I think I'm going open.
Okay.
I think I'm going open. It'll all depend on Pedro too. What he thinks, what his partake is on all of this stuff. But I think we're shooting for the open. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're thinking about a whole year to try to gain that weight, or just to see where you're at and then see?
I think that by the end of, I want to say June, July, we should pretty much know where I'm at.
Okay.
And then if I can grab a show before the year is out, then I will definitely go step on a stage.
So you're planning to do something this year?
Yes, I think so. Okay. Yeah. We were kind of trying to keep it under the waters, but it's exciting at the same time, The thing about earning your pro card is not stopping once you get the pro card, right? Especially for us women, because it's a male dominant show. So now that the women are more out there, I don't want to be that one that earned the pro card and I just stayed there. Well,
I think the advantage now is that because they came back, I think that's giving you, an opportunity to compete now. At like I said, the Wings of Strength, they do all women's bodybuilding, and they have several shows.
Yeah.
So it's IFBB, but it's kind of its own,
its
promoter.
own entity.
The promoter, they do a lot of
Wings of Strength.
They do a lot of women's bodybuilding. So that's something that giving the women opportunity. Because I think if that wouldn't have been there, women with bodybuilding would have been dead.
Yeah. And I'm so glad Bernadette's coming back, bringing it back. Here to the Valley. Like the Valley needs it. There's a lot of women here that want to go get on stage, but they don't know who to reach out to. They don't know. There's not enough workshops, but she's gonna make that happen. So that's super important. I remember when I first started the bodybuilding, I would follow Bernadette, and she would go do workshops in Corpus, San Antonio. I would follow wherever she would go. I would end up there, So really and truly, she was my idol in this and the women's competitions and stuff. Arnold, of course, was always my idol. When you asked me that when I first started, right? I remember there was no magazine that had for women's fitness, so. Once a month, my mother would tell us, you can get whatever you want, one thing, and I would always buy those Flex magazines, but they were men's, right? That's where I fell in love with the sport, and it was like, man, I would see them, and I would try to follow, the workouts or whatever, trying to do the dumbbell. And that's how I started until the women started coming out. But that was until years later, like years later.
No, and even that back then it was taboo.
Yes.
And now I guess with the different divisions of bikini, wellness,
so many.
figure, it's brought it back. Bodybuilding died out. Now it's coming back. So yeah, it gives everybody an opportunity depending on what physique they like to do.
Yeah, because there's so many different body styles, And of course, the first gym, I can't leave without telling you this. The first gym that I ever stepped foot in was Tito Mata's gym in Brownsville.
Are you originally from there?
I am originally from Brownsville. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, from Brownsville. I moved up to McAllen like maybe 8 years ago, something like that. But Tito Mata had his gym off of Kings Highway, and I hope he's listening. I'll never forget walking into his gym. I was the only female in his gym, and it was a warehouse. And that's why I always say, no, gyms have to be hot. I've always said that, right? And he just had the big fans on the floor blowing a smelly, stinky sweat all over the place. But it was his gym that I went in and worked out. My very first workort was in his gym, as far as the gym goes.
Yeah, that was one of the old school there in Brownsville.
Off of Kings Highway, he had his gym.
Yeah. I remember Tito Mata.
Yeah, he's still there. He's still around somewhere.
If somebody would come to you and ask you some advice, to get into the sport or just to start lifting, especially for women, because it's different. What advice would you give somebody that way?
So I've always done like an assessment on people, right? Even when I was in service, you can't give someone the workout and have 5 people doing the exact same thing. So depending on the body frame that you're working with, depending on their goals, right? Because it's not about me anymore. It's about what is their goal, what is their mission. Start light, always start lifting light. You don't have to, because the person next to you is lifting 50-pound dumbbells doesn't mean you have to do that too, right? Safety. I think that the most important thing is lift safe so that you don't have an injury and it doesn't put you out of the gym. And you have to eat healthy for sure. Like if you want things to happen, like you have to change a couple of things, you have to let go of certain bad habits so that you can make it out there and really turn your goal into your reality, your dream. I think that would be the best advice is for sure, make sure that you do your blood work, see your physician, make sure that your heart is in good condition because, we may look healthy, but we're truly not healthy. People always look at me, it's like, oh no, there's nothing wrong with her. I'm disabled myself, pending 2 total knee surgeries and a total hip. It doesn't mean that I'm A-okay, right? But I've learned over the years how to modify my workouts. And it's a constant learning. I'm always looking things up. I'm always reading things, following doctors, the recommendations, because we want the best for whoever is in front of you, right? So I think that would probably be the best guidance that I can give someone. And my ultimate question has always been, how bad do you want it, right? Because it's not about how much are you going to pay me so I can train you. It's, are you serious? Because I'm very serious, and I like seeing people change. I like helping people in their fitness journey. And as well as within our business, people come very injured. It's like you have to assess everyone individually. There's not a set price for a set injured shoulder. I may be injured, you may be injured, but your range of motion is a little bit more than mine. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to know how to approach people. And I think that if you listen to people, you can get a lot out of what they're trying to tell you instead of just telling, well, this is the best thing for you. You have to listen to their story first so that you can follow and kind of weave into how you're going to help someone. Yep. So
I agree. So how can somebody, where's your place of business again?
So we are off of 500 East Beaumont Avenue in McAllen, Texas. And the numbers are 956 312-4636. You can contact me directly. And we'll guide you. There's so many facets under one roof there that we have. It's a one-stop shop, really. So, yeah, we're here.
Well, guys, go check them out. Stop by. You have a variety of specializes, stuff that they can help you out with your fitness journey. Also you can do some one-on-one training, group training like that. Again, thank you for sharing your story, and thank you for your service, and congratulations on your IFBB Pro card.
Yes.
I believe you might be the second woman, because I think the first one bodybuilding down here was Rachel McLeish out of Brownsville. You remember Rachel, the original OG?
Rachel, wow.
Miss Olympia.
She's from Brownsville, yeah.
And then for bodybuilding, so that's a great accomplishment. Even that is at 56. That I think a lot of people think, no, you're too old to keep doing. Eric Perkins also won it at 50. I don't know if you know Eric Perkins. I won my pro card at 40. So we're the older ones, but we got a pro card at an older age. But again, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like the video. Give us a subscribe on Texas Bodybuilding News. Yes. Go hit that off season. I can't wait to see you on that pro stage. That's going to be a big thing.
Thank you for having us here.
No problem.
It's a pleasure.
So till next time, get that last lift in. Stay healthy. Peace. What's up, guys? If you guys looking for a great line of supplements, check out Jack Factory. Jack Factory got a great line of supplements. They got your fat burners, pre-workouts, essentials, proteins. Link is in the description. Use my code Jason, save 20%. Go check them out. Use my link and code and save 20%. The stack that I'm using right now is a Nitro Surge Built with a couple of capsules of NOXT pre-workout. During my workout, I got the EAA Surge. And then post-workout, I got my Growth Surge and my protein. So go check them out. Use the link in the description and my code Jason, save 20%.